now, tracking a DMV first warned evening with scattered storms. We have straight line wind damage along with hail. Primary threats. I have that forecast. It's coming up.
How can I return him to the United States? Like, I smuggle him into the United States or what? Of course, I'm not going to do it.
The president of El Salvador refusing to bring home a Maryland man mistakenly deported, while there's a standstill to return him to the U.S.
If you like outside, you would like to eat outside, this would be perfect.
The warmer weather may tempt you to eating outdoors. How your favorite restaurant's streeteries could be permanent.
Time is ticking to file your taxes. We're helping you stretch your dollar to avoid costly penalties.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for DC News Now at 9 o'clock. I'm Chris Flanagan.
And I'm Susan Tran. We're going to get right to it. Take a live look outside right now at the Washington Monument. We are now in a DMV first warn day. We do have some strong storms moving right into our region.
All right, let's get a first check on that all-important forecast with Chief Meteorologist Janessa Webb. And Janessa, what's the timing for some of these storms?
We're already starting to see storms out towards our west, and they will gradually make their way into the DC metro area, into Prince George's County here in the next hour or so. Right now, you're still dealing with dry conditions, but you're noticing the changes. A severe thunderstorm watch is now in place out towards Northern Virginia. Here's the line that's getting more progressive in nature. It's ahead of a cold front, and that cold front is going to cool us down going into tomorrow and allow for winds to really start to stir up. We do have a lot of severe weather towards our south, and at this point, you can see it's very disorganized. The farther you get into Winchester, parts of Front Royal, pockets of moderate to torrential rain, and eventually that will make its way into our region. So some of those severe thunderstorm watches, they're trying to expire out towards Kentucky as the storm system makes its way in. It is quite mild out there, and it's really setting the tone for the severe conditions, upper 60s to lower 70s, but that is dramatically going to change as the front starts to come through going into your Tuesday. We do have some wind concerns, but tonight the severe weather, it's on the table. More on that coming up.
All right, Janessa, we'll see you. In our continuing coverage today, the president of El Salvador saying he will not send home a Maryland man mistakenly deported to his country despite calls for his return.
The Trump administration is doubling down, in fact, on its claims without evidence that Kilmar Abrego Garcia is a gang member. DC News Now's Max Marcella joining us live outside of the White House. And Max, the Greenbelt Fathers attorneys have been strongly pushing back against these assertions. So what's the latest here?
Well, this is just the latest indication of two sides really disputing a lot in this case, and that surely will continue tomorrow. The next hearing is set for 4 p.m. in Greenbelt. So tonight we're taking a look at how we got here, what happened earlier today inside the White House, and what could be coming next.
The question is preposterous. How can I smuggle a terrorist into the United States?
Alongside President Trump at the White House, Nayib Bukele, the president of El Salvador, making it clear Kilmar Abrego Garcia is not leaving his country. This is the notorious prison known as Sicot, where the 29-year-old Salvadoran national is now. This picture from the Salvadoran government is how Abrego Garcia's wife realized he was there.
I'm still fighting for you.
Abrego Garcia was taken into custody by ICE officers in Prince George's County just over a month ago, and he ended up here despite an immigration court granting him a withholding of removal back in 2019, which blocked him from being deported to El Salvador.
Essentially, they agreed from the outset that there was no legal basis to remove him.
Abrego Garcia's lawyers pointing out even the Trump administration has acknowledged he was removed by administrative error. The mistaken deportation was challenged in court, and last week, the Supreme Court said the Trump administration must facilitate his return.
We would facilitate it, meaning provide a plane.
But without President Bukele's willingness to release Abrego Garcia, the Trump administration says the U.S. has no say in his future.
And no court in the United States has a right to conduct the foreign policy of the United States.
Meanwhile, advocates are still pushing for his release. This rally happening outside the White House while the two presidents met inside.
This is one of the greatest perversions of justice any of us have ever seen.
And in that daily update that the government's attorneys provided to the court, one came out just a few hours ago, and in it they reiterated that Abrego Garcia, that withholding of removal, is no longer eligible because he is an MS-13 gang member. But Abrego Garcia's attorneys have continuously said the government has provided no evidence of that. Reporting live outside the White House, Max Marcella, DC News Now.
And we will continue to cover the latest in the battle to bring home Kilmar Abrego Garcia, even with leaders here in the U.S. and El Salvador fighting against those efforts. You can find the latest on air and online at DCNewsNow.com.
Police in Virginia have charged a 19-year-old with murdering a teen in Ashburn. The 16-year-old was found shot inside of a car at Southern Walk Plaza on Saturday. Investigators believe that he was shot somewhere else, though, and then driven over to the shopping center where he died. Police arrested Fadlallah Mohammed yesterday. He's now being held without bond.
Taking a live look at the Capitol building tonight, a woman is accused of dragging a U.S. Capitol police officer with her car nearby early this morning. U.S. Capitol Police say she was driving erratically along New Jersey and C Street Northwest. Police say the officer had tried stopping the car, but Tony Ross reversed, knocking him down, then dragging the officer for a few seconds. Officer was hurt, but we're told is expected to be okay. Ross was arrested about a mile away.
The trade war whiplash, it continues. Extended a temporary pause on tariffs for electronics. He also is considering an exemption for imported cars. All this as he plans to unveil new tariffs soon on computer chips and pharmaceuticals. Meanwhile, China is now suspending exports of some critical minerals and magnets to the U.S. These are materials many industries rely on in order to build cars and anything that needs a computer chip.
In the district, a lot of people, they want to spend more time outside as it gets warmer. And for some, that includes eating. Many restaurants across D.C. have given us that opportunity, even more so since the pandemic. DC News Now's Dave Laval live in Glover Park in Northwest in an area that has outdoor dining. And Dave, we may soon even have more streeteries.
Well, hey there, Chris, and you're definitely right. You see, streeteries like these first popped up during the pandemic to give business or restaurant owners a shot at remaining open for business. These were always designed to be temporary, but they could become permanent.
I love sitting outside to eat. I think it's great.
Claudia and Brandon Swanson of Salt Lake City, Utah, enjoy a night out dining along Wisconsin Avenue Northwest in Georgetown.
The vitamin D, the sunshine, the fresh air, it's all good.
It's good, a good environment. You don't have to be in close with people. Be outside and do your own thing.
The Swansons are among those who take advantage of temporary streeteries set up in roads around the district. But the D.C. Department of Transportation will allow owners to make them permanent if they get the proper permits.
If you like outside and you would like to eat outside, this would be perfect.
The current streeteries and even the proposed streeteries do not align with the historic nature of Georgetown.
Brittany Sawyer heads the Citizens Association of Georgetown. Her organization opposes making streeteries permanent.
They impede the police force's response to crime. It erodes the historic character, it pushes congestion to residential streets, and it sits in an emergency evacuation route.
DDOT has now given owners of the temporary permits until November 30th to obtain permanent ones. But those with a temporary permit in rush hour parking lanes only have until July 31st. DDOT would not say if those owners can apply to make those streeteries permanent.
Well, the only downfall is that it takes away some of your lanes of traffic, and your traffic is already awful.
Streeteries and DDOT did not respond to our request to comment on this story. We're live in Glover Park in Northwest. Dave Laval, DC News Now.
To the National Law Enforcement Memorial. There was a special ceremony today to commemorate the 345 law enforcement officers who've died in the last year. Now, families are going to be able to see their loved ones' names added to the memorial on May 13th during National Police Week.
Stretch your dollar tonight as we're staring at the big deadline tomorrow. That's because taxes are due. If you owe money, also needs to be paid.
The stress is coming right now. Even if you do file an extension, it is important to read the fine print. DC News Now's Haley Milan has some tips to make sure that you're not going to be hit with any of those expensive penalties.
The IRS poised to process tens of millions of tax returns this year. If you need more time to get your paperwork together, you can request an extension, and that'll buy you until October 15th. The catch? Your money is still due tomorrow.
I did my taxes 6 weeks ago,
and have my refund already. Yeah, no stress.
For some, filing is no sweat. For others,
it was unpleasant. The amount we owed was much higher than it has been. And as a federal worker, I feel like we need every dollar. And so I was holding on to it as long as possible.
With DOJ-led federal worker firings and IRS staffing shortages, it's an uncertain tax season in the DMV. But what is certain, what you owe must be paid by tomorrow to avoid late penalties. To file an extension, this is the form that you need. A 4868 form can be used to request more time, which may be a wise move if you still need to get paperwork together. The form must be submitted online or postmarked by April 15th. Experts say make your best guess about what you owe. You can make a payment online via IRS Direct Pay. If you go that route, you can select extension as your reason for the payment, and then you won't even need to fill out a 4868.
We use a software and we enter everything, and we're almost ready to file, so fingers crossed.
Software programs like TurboTax and H&R Block are available online. They can help you crunch your numbers. If your adjusted gross income was less than $84,000 in 2024, you can use IRS Free File. If you do take an extension, you have until October 15th to get that paperwork in. Tax professionals advise doing everything online to avoid any papers getting lost in the mail. In Falls Church, I'm Haley Mylon, DC News Now.
Looking ahead, you'll soon need a real ID to get into federal buildings and through security at airports. The deadline is May 7th, where federal agents will be enforcing the requirement. It was, of course, signed into law back in 2005 in response to the September 11th attacks, but enforcement was delayed due to the pandemic.